I must congratulate Apti Plus for this very thoughtful initiative. It's very, firstly, let me congratulate all of you who have got qualified for interview. This is the sort of the last mile, in which you should put all your force and win the post. Now, for this, the DAF is a very important document. The entire interview will be based on this DAF. The interview board will just have this DAF only in front of them. And almost all the questions will emanate from the DAF. So it's a very important document, and you should give a lot of time in filling up this and should not be in a hurry just to fill it up. And also first try to, write it out in a draft form, fine tune it, and then finalize and put it. Now, there are three major things in DAF. In a general way, I'll suggest, and then I'll go into the details. One is you have to be honest in filling up. I'll elaborate what I mean by honest. And you have to be precise. You should not go at great length, elaborate, and give all sorts of things in the DAF. And then you should be very clear, honest, precise, and clear. Whatever you write should be clear. The board should be able to understand what you are trying to say, what you are trying to convey, or what does it mean, whatever you fill in. So remember, it has to be honest. While filling up, it has to be honest, precise, and clear. Now, when I say honest, what I mean is you should state the facts as they are and not try to say things so as to impress the board. Now, when we go through the detail, what I will do is I'll take up one of the draft of, I hope that DAF will be the same as last year, because this year's I don't know. I got a specimen of last year's. So based on that, I'll guide you through that. Now, let me just take it out. Last year's, where is it? Why it's not opening? Anyway, 1 minute. I'm not able to open this. Why is it? The draft. Now, if you see the DAF, let's go one by one. Of course, okay. I was just saying, I have the last year's DAF, which is with me. Now, the detail like roll number, name, etc., email and all you should be able to do, and mother tongue also. Okay, then the place of birth, all those details, as I said, it should be factually correct, and you should be honest, because they may ask for some proof later on if they are in doubt or some whatever it is. Even otherwise, you should always be honest in all these things, personal matters, etc. So the place of birth, and they want all details like post office, village, district. So that means they really want you to be, based on your birth certificate, you should give all this. Then name of your father, mother, nationality. Now, these are very important. Nationality in some cases can become a problematic thing. Anyway, whatever. So give whatever all these facts, name of the father, mother, nationality, father's profession. Now, if he's working, you should say that. Otherwise, if he's not, then say that. And mothers also. If mother is working, give details. Otherwise, housewife, whatever. Then your father, it says further, if your father was in service, the post last held by him. So all those details you should give very clearly and precisely. And then so also for your mother. And then annual income of your father. If he is serving, then you give the latest monthly income, whatever. Hello? Somebody coming in between? Hello? Hello, I'm getting some name, Arnav.
Kindly switch off all your audio, dear students. sir. Now you can proceed.
So Marna, acha, हाँ. So what I was saying was, all these details, they will ask for your father's last post held, his salary, or if he is retired, he retired as what. So also for mother. And then the next thing is your father, originally he belonged to which state? And then the district. All those details you should give factually, correctly. And so also for your mother. You see, these things you may think is not very important. They are, at some stage. Otherwise, before giving offer, they may do some verification, etc. So anyway, be honest and very clearly in this. And the post office, all those details give very clearly so that you get the communications in time. And now, the next one is very important, whether your family owns or possesses any of the following assets. Now, here you have to be honest, and especially if you are OBC, because there's a long annexure which is attached, wherein all those details you will have to give. The amount of land owned, residential flat, all those things. So my advice is be honest, because the honesty will be appreciated so that you don't get into unnecessary query and this, that. Then comes the educational qualification. Now here, very clearly, whatever they ask, you should give. Like, for example, 10th class or equivalent, 12th and up to graduation. Now here the subjects, the percentage of marks scored, division, year of passing, all those you should say clearly. And now when you say the name of the college or school, don't use abbreviations. If you use abbreviations, at times you may get into trouble. Suppose you say you are from VIT. Now, suppose they ask is VIT. What is VIT institution? VIT is Vellore Institute of Technology. Now, obviously people will know, but in many cases, certain abbreviations are used, thinking that the other person will know, but that is not appreciated. You write the whole thing in full. Like, I don't say IIT Delhi and all that. Say Indian Institute of Technology. Okay, some like BITS Pilani, say what is the full form of BITS, things like that. Birla Institute of Technology, whatever it is. Because there are certain, you just take it for granted by using abbreviations, some JP Institute or something. What is JP Institute? So, so give all those things in detail. That's very important, So that will be appreciated, because that means you have taken trouble to in filling up the form. What is known as attention to detail. See, you should give detailed attention to the questions asked and then give the precise and clear answer and honest answer. Now, that is for graduation, up to graduation. And if you have done anything beyond graduation, post-graduation, there again you should say all that very clearly. And especially if you are from prestigious institution or universities, etc., then give all that. Okay, very clearly. Now, then it comes to the question, column 6, it says, having regard to answers given against column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the state. Now, I think one of the student, perhaps, I just got a message saying that whether they can give some other state. That will be very wrong. Why I'm saying is, if you say that you belong to, say, Rajasthan, and if you have taken the exam in Delhi, and if you have done all your schooling in Vellore in Tamil Nadu, then at times what happens is people spend more time outside their state. And the moment you say you belong to a particular state, the board will expect you to know the latest happenings in your state, good or bad or whatever it is, or some prominent thing, anything about the state, the composition of the state, assembly or whatever it is, and other issues. And if you're not able to answer well, it can create trouble. So that's why I say, when I say honest, means say the state to which you belong, about which you should know. Simply saying, just give some state, some backward state so that you get more marks. No, it is not done like that. So the state you belong to, you should know all the details about that state and you should be familiar. So don't try to, if you are from Rajasthan, you say you are from Rajasthan. Don't say you are from Chhattisgarh or from Telangana or whatever. Unless you have spent, say, 10 years or something there because of your father's posting or some such thing. And if you own property there, then you can say. So what I mean is, in all these, the state you belong to, the state with which you are familiar, the political, economic, all other aspects happenings there. So only that you should mention, you know. So remember that. Don't give any other state other than the state to which you belong. Because, you don't get marks if you are from some northeast or something, nothing like that. What is important is about the state you should know thoroughly. The political setup, the economic setup, the places of interest, tourist interest, the plus and minus of the state, all those things you should know. So that way, the state to which you belong, just give that. Don't give any other state. Okay, then comes this details about the prizes, medals, scholarships, etc. Now here, you may be getting number of awards, etc. at the school level, and when you are in a middle school or higher secondary, give 2, 3 prominent ones, which matters. If you have taken part in some, good sports, say cricket, for example, at the school level or Ranji Trophy level or some such thing, if you mention, it will really fetch you. But otherwise, don't give a long list. But whatever it says prizes, medals, and scholarships. Okay, if you got any scholarship, all those mention that. The point is, you should be able to elaborate what you got, why you got, etc. And scholarship means the amount and why, on what basis you got, etc. And how many students get. All those details you should have. Then about sports, NCC, you see, if you mention about that, you should be able to back it up with some certificate, etc. If you achieved some, distinction, etc. Then similarly about position, distinction, leadership held in school, college. Well, again, there, they may not ask for certificate, etc. But you should be able to elaborate. Suppose you say you were in charge of cultural festival. Then they can ask, how did you arrange this? When did you do it? What was the occasion? Etc. And how did you go about? How many attended? What were the problems which you encountered? Yeah, things like that. Then the most important and the most difficult, which I would say is the next, that is your hobbies. Now here, please be very honest. You see, some students, they think if they write 7, 8 hobbies, they will get more marks. It is not done. You see, if you are really interested in a particular sports or a particular thing like coin collection or stamp collection or whatever it is, just mention one even, that is good enough. But then you should be thorough with that. Suppose you say stamp collection, you should know, you should be able to answer questions on that. What is the purpose of a stamp? Why is the stamp issued? When was the first stamp issued in India? What is the most recent stamp which has been issued? And what is the value of some very old stamp, etc., etc. Otherwise, if you say stamp, swimming, cricket, volleyball, etc., etc., 7, 8, then they may say volleyball, okay, what is a beach volleyball? How different it is from normal volleyball? How many players are there in volleyball? There can be very many questions which you may not be able to answer. So the sports or hobby for that matter, any hobby for that matter, if you are really interested and you have been following it up, just give one and be very clear about that and be very thorough about that particular item. Instead of saying 4, 5, reading books, what books have you read recently? And if you say, and if you're not able to say that some really worthwhile book which has come out in recent times, etc. So that way, be very careful in filling up this hobby, etc. Think for yourself in which you are really interested. It can be sports, it can be music also. Again, music means what sort of music? Carnatic music, Hindustani music, classical or Bollywood music. And then there can be very many questions. And dance again. So then dance, there can be questions, what different types of dance, what is the difference between Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam, Odissi, Mohini Attam, then Kathak. Then, so if you just say dance thinking that will this, so if you are really interested in Kathak, say Kathak and be done with it. And music, Hindustani music, say Hindustani music, or Bollywood, say Bollywood music. In the Bollywood, they can ask, how do you compare today's songs with, say, 20, 30 years old songs, lyrics-wise and the other things. So, in the extracurricular activities and hobbies, it is not necessary that you should give half a dozen things. You be honest. As I said in the beginning, you have to be honest. And you say what you really are interested in, what you have been following. You see, for example, this particular the draft which I have of somebody last year, he says watching documentaries. Now, documentaries can be very many types. You know, then he has written volleyball also. Then general interest in national and international affairs. Now, this is such a vast canvas, national and international affairs. So they can straight away get an, oh, okay, you are fond of international affairs. Okay, what is the latest on Israel war? You know, and the whole thing, then question after question can be on that. What is India's stand? Or, you know, or what is G20? So it is nice to say that, but then you should back it up. As I said, if you say national and international affairs, fine. But then read regularly and keep track of happenings and India's stand in particular, because that's very important. So, just because extracurricular activities does not mean you should write a whole lot of things. Only things which you are honestly doing, you should write. Suppose you say that you are doing only this. Suppose they say only this much, you say, sir, with my resources and with my time constraint and my facilities that I have, I can only do this much. I have been able to do only this much. That will be appreciated. So be honest and frank. You see, not everybody can do everything, and everybody need not be interested in every game and every music or dance or this, that. Okay, now let's go over further. That is the hobby thing. Then what do we have here? I'm just going through the DAF. Okay, I think basically this is the thing. Then comes this. Then it comes the, once you are selected, I mean, once you come in the merit list, they'll have to give you cadre. If you happen to join one of the All India services like IPS, IAS, okay. So there the state allocation comes cadre, which state, etc. So there you have to fill in your preferences. All the states have been divided into 5 zones that you can see from the draft itself. So basically, whole of Northeast is in one, whole of South India is one, like that. There are 5 zones, and in each zone, there are 5 states, 4 or 5 states. You'll have to give your preference. So this they take into account depending upon your merit and the requirement of the various states in the allotment of cadre. So that also you should give thought before filling up, because once you give this, normally they'll go by that, your preference. But then it is individual's preference. There is nothing, no guidance can be given. It depends upon your interest. In each zone, you have to indicate. You can't ignore any zone. You may be from Rajasthan, but still you will have to indicate your preference for Northeast. Among the Northeast, whether Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Tripura. Now, among these, how will you rank them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever way. Similarly, about Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, or in the east, you have Bengal and all, Bihar, Bengal, Odisha, and all that. So, then the north, of course, Haryana, Himachal, Punjab, Delhi, all that. Union territory, Delhi comes under that. So, once you indicate this, and if your rank is really high and you get that, but otherwise they try to accommodate to the extent possible. But then this is basically you'll have to decide and give. There is nothing very great in this. Now and again for police service, again they have similar request. I mean similar thing from you about your preferences for the various states, etc. So that again you think before filling up, maybe you can consult your parents or whatever it is, and then our friends, and then fill it up. Okay, then comes the choice of service. This is very important. You see, some many candidates for that matter, they fill up things, without giving much thought to it. The first thing is, remember, there's a lot of difference between Group A and Group B. Some of them, they want to be in Delhi, so they give preference to Dhani, that is Group B service in Delhi, to Class 1 service in some other state or some other thing. So please remember, when you give preference for the services, first you rank all the Group A service. There are about 14 of them, I think. Yeah, 14 of them. 15 of them, sorry. And then the last 4 are Group B. You see, Group B, it will take at least 10, 12 years to become Group A. There is no point. So what you do is you rank all the services according to your wish. First Group A, then come to Group B. Now, here again, invariably, people will prefer first will be administrative service, the second may be police or whatever it is, and then the third may be foreign service. It depends upon one's preference. Some people prefer foreign service straight away. Now, this is very important because, and some people say not interested in police. They say not interested. So that can also happen. Then they may ask questions. Why are you against police service? Why you don't want to serve in the police, etc., etc. And if you say you are now first preference in Indian foreign service, very good. But then the expectation will be you are really fond of traveling and you are well versed in the international affairs, etc. And you would like to serve abroad and protect India's interests. And you will be prepared to move from various countries, among the various countries. So there can be very many questions on current affairs, like on UN, India's membership with UN, on G20, what is Sherpa in G20, what is the India stand on various these things, BRICS, G20, ASEAN, all sorts of SAARC, so many things, So the service, the preference matters. So that indicates your preferences and your outlook. So if you give foreign service, it's very good, but then you should be prepared to answer questions. And especially they may ask you about the foreign language you would like to learn, because you have to learn some foreign language, maybe Chinese or, Spanish or French or whatever it is. And the countries wherein these will be used. So anyway, that is there. Then the administrative service, police service, etc. Then you have many people opt for Indian Revenue Service more than, foreign service or police service. Then there can be questions on that, why this strong preference for revenue service. There is nothing wrong, but then you should be on basic issues like what is GST, what is direct tax, what is indirect tax, what has been recent collection in months in GST. Things like that. And then there's similarly defense account, defense estate service is there, information service, postal service. Then now railways, I don't know. You see, there was a move to have separate thing for railways, but now again, I think the entire railways will also be part of this. Anyway, so whatever services they are indicated, you can give your preference after consulting somebody or depending upon your own interest. Now, as I was mentioning, for OBC, etc., and I think also EWS, economically weaker section thing, there are annexures. These annexures are very detailed. And here again, as I mentioned earlier, you have to be honest, because they can ask definitely for some evidence or some proof. If you say you have only this much land or what, or if you don't have that also, whatever it is. So what I mean is be honest and be precise and be very clear in your statements, whatever details you give, because there should not be any ambiguity. So those are the details. Now, what I would do is I will stop here, but with just this caution that please take it very seriously. It's a very important thing. It is like a handle you are giving. The longer the handle, the more easily you will get hit. You get my point. So you should give precise answer, clear answer, and to the point, and the honest answer. That's very important. And don't think that you should give too many things and all that will impress. No. But then things which are very important to the fact, to the question asked, you give that and stop there. Okay. And then, of course, apart from this, you have to prepare yourself by reading newspaper, the economic issues, by reading one economic daily, maybe Business Standard or Mint or whatever. Apart from Times of India or Indian Express, Indian Express is very good. The current affairs will be very important. So much is happening now, both nationally and internationally. The general election is likely to be next year. So that way, things about that also. And then G20 and international things, So all that you should keep track and read. And apart from your own optional, you see, I don't know what optional you people take, but whatever optional, whether sociology or international thing or political science or psychology, whatever, economics or this, you should be thorough with that subject also. So if you have any specific questions, you may ask so that I can elaborate.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, I have a habit of sketching. I like to sketch, but I don't usually research into famous artists. I just remember the names of artists which I stumble upon while taking inspiration. Is that fine, or should I study?
No, very good. I was in the UPSC board. This had come to me, one person was fond of sketching. So what I said was, they keep a paper and pencil in front of you, you see. I said, I give you 1 minute, draw a sketch. So he drew. Of course, he was trying to draw something of mine, my face. Anyway, so what I mean is, the idea is to know whether you are just bluffing or you are just really interested in that. You follow? So that's why I say you have to be honest. When I say honest, mean that only. Now, when I say ask you to sketch, I'm in 1 minute, you should be able to draw something, maybe a bottle or a glass or whatever. See, that will give an idea that you are really interested. Whenever you get time or whatever, you try to draw something or something. So that is the idea. But then you should know a bit about the cartoonist and all that, if you can. So that way, think about it. That's good. So apart from that, are you mentioning any other hobby?
Sir, I'm confused because I have a degree in tabla, but I don't play it that much. I
No,
know.
no. Hold on. Tabla can really get you good marks. Now, but then you should know. Do you know about Allah Raka? Who was
Yes,
Allah
sir.
Raka? And
Sir,
something about Zakir Hussain?
yes, sir. His son.
Okay. No, let me get. And then what is the difference between a mridangam and tabla? Is there a difference?
Yes, sir.
Where do they play mridangam?
Southern music, Carnatic music,
Carnatic music, yes. And tabla is in the North Indian thing.
Northern music, and independent play.
Yeah. And then similar thing, drums and all in Calcutta and all they play. I don't know what it is called. Anyway.
Yes,
So
sir.
what
Drums
it
and
is,
violin.
things like this, there is nothing wrong in saying tabla is very good.
So,
You
but I'm confused if they round me up in asking about specific classic music, because I don't listen to a lot of classic music.
No. You see, we don't expect, unless you have received some medal or some, award.
Yes, sir.
The various levels, at times people get award, no?
Yes, sir.
So if you have got some such thing, then they may. Otherwise, if you say, if you are that you are interested in tabla and you have been playing,
Yes,
may not be now, but say in the earlier days, and then about tabla, etc., then that should be okay. But then the eminent people, that is very important,
yes,
that's what they will expect, even in the dance or in all these things. And where all it is played, tabla, now you have mostly in the north, isn't it, tabla?
yes, sir.
In the south, not that much of tabla. So then they can say, in the south, what happened? They don't play tabla, then mridangam, you can say,
Hmm.
things like that. So the idea is whether you are genuinely, saying fact or not. That's the point. You are not just bluffing like that. So tabla you can definitely mention, and also you just brush up a bit more about tabla. You can get it.
Yes,
You
sir.
know
It's just
when
that
it
I'm not
started and
interested.
this, that, And you can say that even now you play whenever, you practice tabla in holidays and all that. Otherwise, you don't get time.
Yes,
And
sir.
you do practice and you do attend concerts and all that, the various performances you see. So that also shows your interest, no?
Yes, sir.
If somebody is interested in cricket, he may not be playing cricket, but if he's watching cricket, if he's keeping track of India's performance in cricket,
Yes.
that's a hobby in a way. And collecting their photos or whatever, that's how it goes, you know. So
Sir,
at your age and at your level, that is what they will expect. It is
yes,
not that they will give a tabla and ask you to play. No.
yes, sir.
You see
Just
that.
basic details.
Ha. But I think if you mention tabla, for you it may be a good plus factor because not very many people can mention that.
Yes.
Otherwise, normally people mention all these cricket, watching documentary, movies, this, that, you know. They so that I think because you have played tabla, na? You have been you
Yes,
have
sir.
learned it, na?
I have a degree also in tabla.
Then what? Oh, then all the more reason you should mention. And
Yes, sir.
degree from where? Degree from where? Which institute?
Raja Man Singh Tomar.
Oh, very good. Then you should be prepared to answer who was Raja Man Singh.
Yes, sir. He
Things may
promoted.
take a different angle altogether.
Yes,
Tabla, they may forget, they may ask more questions on Raja Man Singh.
yes,
Now,
sir.
again, it has to do with Rajasthan or what? This Man Singh and all. Anyway, so what I mean is read about this tabla, origin of tabla, because all these things have origin. Na? Somebody must
Yes,
have
sir.
started this, that, some a bit of history of that. The
Yes, sir.
eminent
That much I can handle. But when they steer the conversation into other classical music forms,
No,
that
they
part
may
is tricky.
not go very deep into that, but they will definitely expect you to know something, saying that something like that in South, like Mridangam,
And
just
that so
that
is
cannot.
fine.
Huh. And then, yeah, that is very important, it's good. And that shows your interest in music, and which is a plus point. So
Yes,
no
sir.
harm in mentioning, read up about the tabla and also some eminent people, etc. And if you have done the degree also, then you can say, suppose they say in what way this will help you in when you join the service. You can
Yes,
say that you can play tabla and relax yourself, which is very important,
yes, sir.
you know, and it gives you peace also, any
Yes,
music, any instrument. So that way you can say that you are interested, you'll keep track, and whenever you get time, you'll practice for your own satisfaction or your own this thing.
yes, sir.
Say
Sir,
like
one
that.
last query.
Ha, ha, sure.
My friend was also telling me to put two more hobbies I have. I'm
No,
just
no, don't do
deciding which
that.
two.
Which,
I'm just
which,
deciding which one to put.
no, no, no. Which one?
Sir, they are saying that organizing my things and teaching students.
Oh, no, no, no. That everybody says. We,
Yes.
we know. We can say teaching poor students, this, that, it doesn't cut
And
much.
organizing my things.
No, no. As I told you, give one, even that's good, but then you should be able to justify and you should be thorough with that.
Yes, sir.
That is what I say. No, like stamp collection, coin collection,
Uh,
things like that. Even one is enough, but then you should know the origin, the importance, and how you got interested, at what stage are you still doing it, in what way it will help you in your service, things like that. That's how it will go. No point in mentioning 3, 4. Definitely not 3, 4. At the most 2, but 2 also, personally, I would not say. Now that you are saying tabla, what is your background? Are you an engineer or what?
no, sir, I'm from NIFT, Fashion Technology.
Oh, fashion technology. Okay, okay.
NIFT,
Then,
NIFT.
the tabla is okay. Then you can mention if at all you want more. Are you fond of reading books?
Sir, I've only read like 4 or 5 books, that too only in recent 2, 3
No,
months.
no, then don't say. No, no, as I told you, you have to be honest.
Yes,
Tabla, you are interested and you got degree also. So
yes, sir.
just mention that
Sir,
and
I'm
leave.
not interested, but I know a lot about tabla and I listen to tabla in free time.
So that is good enough. Just mention one enough. Don't get into unnecessarily saying this, that, and then
And
you'll
for
be
sketching
caught.
also, I'm genuinely interested. I do it in free time. So two hobbies, tabla and sketching, I'm thinking.
So yeah, sketching is very good again. Yeah, that's very good. Sketching you can do whenever you feel, get time just for relaxation. And
Yes,
then eminent cartoonists you should know.
yes, sir.
So that I think stick to this. Don't give too many things. Things which you are just for the sake of mentioning, don't mention.
Sir, and people are saying that you don't have any intellectual hobby.
No,
That,
no, no. There is nothing like that.
oh,
Hobby need not be intellectual. It can be anything. Music. People are very much interested in music, dance, this, that. So,
yes, sir.
so everything. So that no, no, don't get into all that. You
Yes.
see. Mm.
Thank you, sir.
Huh. Anything else? Anybody else? Hello? Anybody? Acha. Okay, so the point is take this very seriously. Don't take it just you can just fill it and send it across. You know,
Yeah.
it can land you in trouble. So make a copy or first rough, write it out in rough form, fine tune it, then put it finally. And keep a copy of what you have put up. Obviously, you will have a copy. Just before going for the interview, just go through that once because you should know what you have written, you see. So that way, so this is a very important document. Anyway, so as I said, take it seriously. It's a very important, it's worth spending time before filling it up. And the three things: be honest, be precise, and be clear. There should not be any ambiguity, and be consistent. This again is very important. You know, in one place you can't say that you belong to Rajasthan, and in some other place you say you belong to Punjab. You know, that's not done. So what I mean is, don't contradict yourself. So keep these basic things in mind and fill it up, and then read it up, your subject and the current affairs, etc. And about your school, about your state, you should be well, fully informed. The political, economic, and other setup of your state, and your subject, and the school from where you have passed out. Okay, is that all right? Anything, any question?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Huh?
No,
So
sir.
all the best, all of you. Prepare. That's more important. And go through the see Rajya Sabha TV discussions. They are very good on current affairs. Okay, all the best. I think I'll wind it up here.